Is everybody's ready? If yes, I can tell you this, guys. Today, I'm so excited and privileged and happy to introduce to many of you Dr. Samina Ahmad, who's a LifePharm Scientific Advisory Board member. She also runs a wellness in New York. She's very knowledgeable. She's a profession in medicine, and she's my friend, which makes me very happy. So today we will talk about stress. So Dr. Samina, I will ask you a few questions, okay? And you will show the presentation and explain what it is stress, why it's bad to experience stress, what can we do about, and because I know you run in wellness in New York, maybe you can tell, is that true that poor nutrition is the main cause of stress? So I know you know the answers. So again, I'm so happy and privileged to let you tell us the answers for all the questions.
Thank you so much, Irene. Thank you to everyone who's joined this webinar, and to Peter for his IT help, and Michael. And some of my friends are on the webinar. Galina Pana, I miss you, my friend. And I know Nina is there. Robin, Nina, we have connected in the past. So thank you so much for taking out time and joining us. So Irene, you gave me a topic which is, I think, now becoming the most talked about topic, right? Especially
Yes.
because of the COVID crisis that happened, and we all totally got influenced and affected by it. The pandemic took away our normalcy. So today's topic is definitely going to help everyone who's gone through this roller coaster ride in the last 2 years. And I hope everything you hear is going to benefit you. Since I have an Ayurvedic background also, Irene, you know about that.
Yeah.
Uh, Besides being a modern medicine doctor, the holistic aspect in a way is telling me right now to make my intention very clear before the webinar starts. So my intention is to provide you with whatever I know, so as to help you in wherever you are right now, in dealing with your everyday problems, your issues, and also to make sure that when you leave this webinar, you feel you didn't waste your time. And my intention is also to send you healing energy through this technology and through our webinar. I think IT can do that, right? Can you feel the energy? Please, come on.
Already.
So energy transference through this webinar. So let's move to our slides then, Irene. I like this slide, right? We have to knock the stress out in your life. It's a bit sort of forceful. You have to get rid of it, right? So here, that slide was telling you that you need to take the action, and you have to take the responsibility and make a commitment to actually do everything I'm going to tell you today. Otherwise, like I tell everyone, all my clients, when you do nothing, nothing
Nothing
happens.
happens. Yeah.
When you do something, something happens. So I'm asking you to do that little something. That's it.
We
Taking an
will.
action, starting with a small little thing. But like they say, baby steps to success, or the journey of 1,000 miles begins with that single step, that first step. So look at this slide, right? A 21st century, which we're living in, has the biggest challenge. And WHO has said that stress is an epidemic. I sometimes feel I want to make it into a pandemic, but I don't want to do it today. And I'll tell you why, because we already suffered from one. So let's not label it as a pandemic. We want to take ownership and say, hey, we are not going to allow stress to become a pandemic. So let's take responsibility for that. Next slide.
Yeah, that's important to take responsibilities. Yes, ourselves.
because we are actually little sort of light bulbs, and we individually are not that effective, but when we take this united sort of front and decide to do something together, Irene,
Mhm.
then we become a bigger force. And what I love about being with Life Farm is that it connects me to people of different nationalities, people from different ethnic
Competence,
backgrounds.
yeah.
No, it's phenomenal. And I get to find out that at the end of the day, we are all same. We have more
Yeah,
similarities than differences.
that's true.
So this chart is meaningful. If you look, stress, anxiety, and all kinds of mental health disorders have been marked with this red. And then the next color is orange. But if you see globally, we are affected by mental health disorders.
Yeah.
And the statistics are interesting. Out of seven people, if we put together seven, one is definitely suffering from either one mental disorder or two or more. So that's a very significant number. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, Irene, I think we have six, seven people in our families always. If you started counting your
Yeah.
parents, your siblings, you will come to that number and you'll realize, hey, wait a second, that means it's so close to you, right? And it's so close to me,
Mhm.
these mental health disorders. It's not as if we are talking about somebody else's problem. That's
Yeah.
not so.
Just
It's
even
right
family
there in our
members
houses.
and close friends, yes. And we know so many people who suffering from mental health and disorders, yes.
And Irene, this statistic is from 2019, right? And we are not even there at this stage when this particular graph was presented. We
Mhm.
didn't have the pandemic. So
Yes.
I think things have changed globally after the pandemic. And I can tell you, since I see a lot of patients, the problems are affecting the younger sort of generation more so than the older ones, because we already were familiar that, hey, when you turn old, you like kind of get depression, and you get sad, whatever. But the pandemic has left a lot of people with anxiety, trauma,
Yeah.
and the effects are going to last a long time. One of the examples I'd like to give you is which happened very recently. I don't know if you read in the newspaper, but in Manhattan, because it's close to where I live. I'm in New York, in Japan, which is 35 minutes from Manhattan. There is a girl who is only 28 years old, and she became Miss America, I think it was, or Miss Universe, and she committed suicide. And it seemed like she had everything going for
Ever-
her. She had won the title, she had a television show, and so many different sponsorships, and she was so popular on social media. But apparently, there were certain self esteem issues. People were trying to bother her on social media, telling her, you didn't deserve this award. And she wasn't strong enough to really handle it, and she totally went into depression and decided to take her life. So that was during the pandemic time. And I read a lot of other cases of celebrities taking their lives. So people going into drugs and alcohol was very common during the pandemic, because everybody was home. There was nothing much to do, right? And people lost their jobs. People had financial
Yeah.
problems. So that's what happens one
Yeah.
after the other when they all pile up, right?
Right. Yeah. Very
So we
scary.
go to the next slide. So there is a history attached to everything, Irene. And there is history of stress also. So the father of medicine is called Hippocrates, and we have a Hippocratic oath also when we become a doctor, that we
Mhm.
have to be ethical, we have to take care of our patients, we have to abide by certain rules. But he basically is the one to attempt to describe stress in terms of balance. So I am also trained in Ayurveda, which is a 5,000-year-old science. And over there, this word balance was also there, right?
Mhm.
So now 5,000 years old is a long time, a lot longer than the Greek philosophers' time. So what I've understood now is that the problem is imbalance whenever we fall sick.
Yeah.
We lose our balance. We are supposed to stay in a state of homeostasis. And you must have heard that word for the body.
Yes, of
The
course.
body has
Yeah.
to be in a state of balance. So when you lose that balance, there is something wrong. Stress is that which causes imbalance. And he noted certain characteristics of when you get stressed. And I want everyone on the webinar to understand and know, when you go through these symptoms, you are going through stress, and there is something wrong in the body is not supposed to get palpitations, heartbeat. You're not supposed to hear your heartbeat. It's not normal to hear it. And the heartbeat, racing heartbeat,
Yes.
lump in the throat, like he describes
Yeah.
here, rapid breathing, like you're like sort of anticipating something is wrong. That's more like a panic attack or something. And then there is another scientist who identified this word, stress again, and he also recognized the impact of this particular condition, and said that you cannot basically stay in a state of balance or homeostasis if you have stress. Stress prevents you from having a healthy body or healthy mind, body, spirit. So that's important. So what are the stresses in life? And this is again
I
a
can
chart from
recognize the list.
the list is there, Irene. And maybe we can ask people, the participants, to maybe write to you in the chat box. And out of these 6 categories, if they can also identify which is their number one stressor, then at the end of the webinar, you can tell me from the participants' point of view, what is that stressor that they had to go through, in different timings or in their life. We are not talking about the pandemic only. We can all look at this list and say, for people who are workaholics, they're going to look at the work. They're not looking at the money. For people who are worried about their health all the time and they take stress for it, they're going to go for that one. So it's different for each person. I know people who want their house to be in perfect shape. They are literally germophobic, and they spend most of their day just worrying about the fact whether their sink is clean or not, whether the towel that they put in the bathroom is clean enough, and they're going to worry about it the whole day. So it's your mindset, and it's how
Exactly.
you look at life, how you view it. So
Mhm.
we let them do some homework while they're going through the presentation, right? But
Okay.
money seems to be the
Indeed.
biggest stressor. And I do get that point, because of course you need money to buy food, you need money to pay your
For
mortgage,
everything.
educate your children, to buy food, everything, right? So of course, if there is any fluctuation or imbalance in getting that, then there is trouble. And your career, your family life, your relationships, having a house, your own health, those are all important.
Relationships also. The
Sure.
relationship, yes, could be stressful for
Sometimes,
some people.
Irene, like, your friend is angry at you, or she doesn't want to talk to you, and you take pressure of that. Uh,
Thanks God,
Losing a
nobody's
home.
angry at me.
I don't think so. Yeah, Irene, you're such a happy person. I think you have love, and love in your life. But losing a spouse,
Yeah.
divorce, losing a
Yeah.
child, there are so many stresses. And I'm not trying to say one stress is less than the other, or your stress is less than mine. It's perspectives.
Yeah.
But it's about stress handling. Today we are discussing all this, so we learn about what is wrong, what is right. Am I somebody who's doing something that I should change in my life? Because there is always time to change your habits, to change your outlook in life. They say if something is not working for you, then you need to make a decision, right? You have to make those decisions, and you are the action maker, the doer. If you don't do it,
100%
nothing
agree.
will change.
100%. Yes.
And I know, Irene, people, when they get a heart attack, they try to modify their life. They don't do anything before that. It's only when something bad happens that they take that action. They keep waiting. It's like pushing yourself to the hilt, well, it's okay. I'll work 12 hours today and I won't sleep. I will also do that tomorrow and I'll do it again till a day comes when you feel you can't even get up from the bed.
Yeah.
And then you realize, oh, what have I done to myself? Because in life, there is cause and effect. Everything has a cause and effect.
But
You
many
can't
people don't even listen to their bodies. Bodies sending signals and people just disregard them. And then boom, heart attack or something. Yeah. Causing by
correct.
stress.
And
Hmm.
I mean, I have people who come over and they've been smoking cigarettes for 20 years of their life and they've been smoking two packs, and they come up and they complain that, now I have emphysema or bronchiolitis, or I have cancer all of a sudden, and they're questioning, why,
Yeah.
doctor, I think I haven't done anything wrong. So there is a denial, a sense of denial. Sometimes you do something wrong, but you keep justifying also and saying, no, it's not a lot. And they'll give you explanations, Irene, like, doctor, I know, and I have friends who smoke three packs and they've never
Yeah.
had cancer. So, and what do you say to them? It's like, okay, that still doesn't, you're saying this doesn't make something right. So let's move on to the next slide. So effects of stress on your body.
Oh,
I don't want to demonize stress, because it is something which is put in our body, innately. It's an innate response. When you came into this world, you were given the fight or flight stress response. And it's not all bad, because if I see a snake, I need to run. If a bear is about to attack me, I need to run. If somebody is really trying to fight with me physically, I need to either fight back or run. So
mhm.
these are certain responses given to you
It's even
when you
healthy. Yeah.
to, but they are healthy, they're okay if
Yeah.
it's acute, if it's short. The problem happens when this is ongoing and becomes chronic, and then these hormones come out. And I think all of you know about them. You've heard these words so often. Cortisol, right? That is your
Oh, yeah.
stress hormone, and cortisol and adrenaline. So these hormones will come out. Now what will happen when this is secreted? Heart rate becomes very fast, you get palpitation, breathing becomes labored,
Mhm.
sweating. And all this is happening because blood is rushing through the body. And because the body has detected something that like a danger and wants you to run. So the blood is being pumped to the muscles, your legs, everywhere. Your blood pressure goes up also. Now, like I said, all this is there to help you because of some acute issue that has happened, but we don't want it to linger on, right? So there is a term I want you to remember. It's psychoneuroimmunology. Psychoneuroimmunology, psycho from mind, neuro the brain, immunology is your immune system. So according to research, anything you think, you're thinking, and
Mhm.
it's always negative. Remember, I always say 60,000 thoughts in a day, all negative about your past or the future. And the past has regrets and the future has anxiety. So you are actually overthinking. When
Mhm.
you overthink, obviously negative, you influence the brain, and the brain sends signals to your immune system, the endocrine system, and that causes the chaos. And people fall sick, they get diabetes, heart disease, obesity, autoimmune disorders, cancer. So, in a way, let's understand one thing: disease doesn't just come into your body like that. We create disease, and we must take responsibility. Anything
Yeah.
that is happening to Dr. Samina Ahmed at this stage in my life, at my age, is because of the cause and effect. I have done this. I have to take responsibility. Don't play the blame game. Didn't give me enough money, so I had to struggle in life, and you see, I got diabetes. Oh, if only my children had been kind to me, and they would have listened to me, I wouldn't have gotten depression. This is all our justification. So remember, we create disease, but then we must have potential to also change this imbalance that I have created can be reversed. I can bring back the balance in my life by adopting a good lifestyle. And that's what we have to do. That is the solution. So in this slide, invariably I explained to you everything. I think the only thing I didn't talk about was the digestive system, which it talks about, leads to a nervous stomach. So have you ever experienced travel diarrhea? I don't know who has.
Yes,
I mean,
yes.
it's called traveler's
When I
diarrhea.
when I flew from Korea, I believe I was flying back home. Oh, from Indonesia, yes. Oh, that was horrible experience. Yes.
So what happened, Irene? You know, what really happened? Did you eat anything wrong? Was it related to food? It never is. It's not related to food. It's part of my brain uh, imagining
Yeah.
everything,
I
my
was
whole travel.
anxious. Yes,
What if
anxious.
what if I miss my flight? What if I don't wake up at the right time to catch my plane? Uh, do I have a visa? All this self-created anxiety about traveling is going to cause your gut to get affected. And what
I
happens is
never
the
related. I
so
never put that together.
you have to put it
Wow.
together, yeah. So what happens is the sympathetic system, which is the mind affecting the heart rate and the palpitation, the anxiety, the sweating and all, affects the parasympathetic system. Parasympathetic is controlling the motility of your gut, the speed with which your food is going to move out of the large intestines. Now, because of all this worry, we have made that movement faster than it should be. And
Mhm.
now there is diarrhea, and you're like wondering what happened, an upset tummy. So that is before an examination, any kind of stress related activity that way. Some people take pressure of an exam, of a presentation, making a presentation at your office, traveling, taking your children to school. I have a friend who actually got multiple sclerosis, and this is also something I see very commonly, autoimmune disorders. Autoimmune disorders happen where your own body attacks its own cells. And some people take pregnancy as such a stressful thing. Pregnancy.
Yeah.
They make such a thing of it that they will have the baby and then become so sick, and then the doctor tells them, sorry, you can't have more babies because now you've been diagnosed with this autoimmune disorder called multiple sclerosis. And it's something, again, like I told you, we are creating disease in our body because we are overthinking. Okay, so this is a professor at Carnegie Mellon University, and he did an interesting kind of study. He's trying to find out about chronic psychological stress, right? So he takes
Mhm.
276 individuals and he exposes them to a cold virus. It's like exposing 276 healthy individuals in this study to see what will happen to these people. And he's trying to find out how each body will respond, because usually stress will show us an inflammatory response, inflammation in the body. And he will study that. And let's see the result in the next slide. What did he find out after this study? His conclusion. So, in his conclusion, he sees that whenever people have acute stressful events, which means less than 1 month, right? If a stress is less, like only, like let's say a month, it lasted that month, right? What is the association of that with developing a flu or something versus chronic stresses, which means more than 1 month long, right? So he's studying this and he realizes that acute stress does not lead to too many people developing colds. It's short lived, right? Makes sense. I told you about
Yeah.
that already. I
Yeah.
told you when the stress stays for a longer time, it causes disease. It has a role. It will increase your risk of getting disease. So then the person can get the stress is there constantly, and it's severe, it's there, it's just constantly nagging, and it will lead to or increase the risk of disease. Then he also found out that people who were those who had that psychological stress, overthinking, panic attacks, anxiety, worry, they will be getting more disease. And I told you about psychoneuroimmunology, anyways, that
Mhm.
people who are worriers, overthinkers will get more disease. Now, interestingly, uh, I have seen that even in children. Irene, I don't know if you saw, there's a class of 30 children, and some kids in that group, four or five, will always fall sick, in the class, always sneezing, sniffling. So when you take their history, it is related to children who are very sensitive, extremely sensitive, and uh, they get bullied sometimes in
Yeah.
class. Worried about something, anxiety, the definition of anxiety, you are worried about something
Mhm.
which doesn't exist.
Wow.
So
They-
that is anxiety is what we
Yeah,
experience.
we create.
We created it. It
Yeah.
doesn't really exist. You are thinking about something which has not happened as yet. It hasn't happened, but our mind is building it up into a
Mhm.
problem. So my advice to everyone is, let's be solution makers
Yeah.
and not problem
Create.
creators.
Yeah. Good
We must
advice. Very
we
good
write this
advice.
down. And Irene, I think in your business, you must have met people. When you meet them, they are always complaining, and there is always some issue in their tissue.
I know.
And and then there's sometimes people who have a lot of problems, but they're always trying to find a way of solving them. Let's try to
Mhm.
find a way. They are always positive. They are not in that rut, right?
Yeah.
So that's important.
Yeah. I'm focusing only on connecting with the positive people.
So
Problem
important.
solvers. Yes. Yeah.
The problem solvers, the solution makers.
Yes. Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
When people complaining all the time, I don't have time for them. Yes, I
Yeah.
have to enjoy my beautiful life, which I created by thinking right and focusing on lifestyle and focusing on the right things of my life. Yeah. I
That
also,
is true.
Samina, Dr. Samina, I also was working very hard on controlling my mind because I grew up in a family where we were worried about money, jobs. We moved to America. Always was issues. Just numbers of issues. And one day I said, stop to worry because I'm going to age much faster than other people. I'm going to have more disease than I should because I'm healthy. And I start focusing what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, who I'm communicating. And over the years, I created Irene's Happy World, where no worries, no anxiety. I'm controlling my mind, and now my mind is controlling my life. So everything is good now. A very, very balanced. Yes.
You
So
knocked
that's
out the stress.
yeah.
Irene, like your presentation, knocking it out, just getting rid of it. And I totally hear people who are battling with a lot of situations, and they say, hey, it must be easy for her to do it. She knows how to do it, but that's not so. I mean, just to use Irene example, some people might say, Irene can do it. She had the capability. So
No, I
for
didn't have.
her, it's easy. But remember, it's not easy. She figured it out. She found a solution. It's never easy for anyone. Like Galina is on the is there as a participant. She's a good friend of mine, and Nina and everyone. So to give you an example, I mean, I came into this world with my own set of, or my own maze of or a puzzle, my own little pieces. And Irene has hers, and Galina has hers, Nina, Peter, Michael, everybody. So nobody's life is a piece of cake as such, but they are people who will build mountains out of molehills based on that perception or perspective that the glass is half full. It's not or half empty. Those are the two views you can take of life. You could be content with nothing, not
Mhm.
much, and say, no, my life is amazing, and not really be concerned looking at other people if they have a better lifestyle, more cars, more money, and just be very focused and happy with whatever you have. And less is more. And I think the pandemic taught us that we need to be lighter in our lives. We should not actually carry all this material energy, because at the end of the day, when you carry all that, you get burdened.
Yeah.
And you have to have a spiritual center. We must be spiritually grounded, and that can make us feel rich, you know. Like Irene has so many friends, and
So many. And
that
all
is
good
money.
friends, all positive
That's
friends.
money. You don't have to have those pieces of paper which translate to money.
Yeah.
Having health is money. Having a good spouse is being very rich. Good children and good company, good people in your office who care for you. And I feel authentic people in your life is such a reward, right? uh,
Very rewarding,
People who
yes.
are genuine, who love you for who you are, not for your house, your status, your
Of course
car.
not.
We
Yeah.
don't want those people in our lives, because they're just fair weather friends anyways. They're not going to be around when you really need them.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
So I know you operate wellness in New York, and now I want to ask you again the same question. Uh, is that true that poor nutrition are one of the cause of stress and anxiety?
Well, definitely, because when you have a poor nutrition, it is lacking certain nutrients,
Yeah.
right? If I end up eating a diet which has, which is coming from a source which is void of the right vitamins, the right minerals, the right nutrients, my body will not really get them, right? And so I need that for my metabolic processes, for good digestion to take place, for good absorption, for all the processes in the body. What will happen then? Of course you will get stress, because stress is also a major, sort of call it a symptom tied to people's lives who are, having a very deficient diet. And I know of a girl, actually, you asked an interesting question. I'm in Pakistan right now, and to a large extent tuberculosis has literally disappeared from the country, but we still keep getting cases. And I know one of the teachers in a nearby university called up and said one of the students is suffering from cough, and she is really not well. So I sent her for evaluation, and she had tuberculosis a year ago. She took the medication, she became okay, but she came to study in a university where there is a lot of stress. These girls and boys, they get a lot of exams, and the burden of studies, they're all doing their post graduations, is so much they forget to eat food,
Oh,
or
wow.
their food is devoid of nutrients. It's usually
Mhm.
fast food. And can you imagine, Irene, the girl who had recovered from a bout of that disease, all of a sudden is finding herself, her immune system is depressed again,
Wow.
what we know happens during stress. And
Mhm.
because of low immunity, she's getting the symptoms, and her diet is terrible, because now a lot of girls get that pressure of eating less to remain, very slim.
We know
uh,
that.
there is that pressure from the society not to really put on a pound. So that is what happens. And farmers are greedy. Industrialization has taken place. That our food has hormones, has antibiotics in it, and pesticides in it. When the food is void of all the good stuff in it and is toxic, how can we
Yeah.
really move towards good health?
Yes. So now we have solution, right?
We have a
Now we know how
solution.
to boost our health to combat stress.
Yes, Revive, I think really feel I manifested this product, because a lot of times, Irene, before
Yeah.
Revive came in, I was using those individual bottles of all LifePharm supplements, and it would be crazy because I travel a lot and I'm putting these bottles in my suitcase, making sure digestive stays in its own bottle, and then laminine in its own, and omega. And then when this happened for me, it was like, wow, I have these little like pouches. I throw them in the suitcase. They are so light. I don't take the box. I just scatter them in my suitcase. And
Doctor. Mhm.
I'm feeling so good about that. But to share a story with everybody, I used to come to Pakistan 2 to 3 times a year before COVID. During COVID, I didn't come. But anytime I landed, there's a lot of pollution in the city that I'm in right now, Lahore, just like Delhi in India. There's a lot of pollution. So as soon as I would land, I would be itchy in the
Mm.
throat, I'll cough, and or I would get food poisoning. Something would happen to my immune system when I arrived. And now I've been with them with LifePharm for over 8 years, but uh, I would say regularly taking the Re5 would be about 5 years. And I don't fall sick anymore. I've been here for over 3 months now. And I've been to political rallies. I went to do a mini pilgrimage in Saudi recently. And
Mm.
you know what happens in pilgrimages, like there's tons of people. And attended many marriages, and I am like totally, like strong. So they work.
It really works. Before you will introduce Revive to our guests, I can tell that I've been on Lemonade for 10 years. I've been on Revive the last 5 years. And if you check my purses, and I have so many purses, so you will see one pack of Revive every single purses I have in my pockets everywhere. Why? Because every time when I go out, I always have my Revive with me anywhere I go. And I'll show you the video, very short video. You will see why I'm so healthy and energetic at my age. So let's listen about Revive, because we have many people, new people here who never heard about Revive. So maybe Dr. Samina, you can explain what's in a pack and why it's important to take it on a regular basis and how it can help to our health in overall health.
So remember, I was talking about balance and
Yeah.
homeostasis. So
Mm-hmm.
Re5, as I will explain to you, will end up achieving all that I talked about. So we have different systems in our body, right? You have the
The
circulatory system, the
powerhouse, right?
digestive system, you have the immune system, and overall health is there. Uh, but Re5, when you take all these nutritional supplements which don't have any toxicity, also they are made from products, or they're made from literally nutrients which your body recognizes as food and not as an outside substance. Then what happens is body is able to assimilate and is able to absorb, digest all this, and make sure that the cells in the body get regenerated, and you balance out where all these systems. So I'm going to explain to you each one. We will of course start with just naming all of them here. So there are five actually pills, or call it capsules, tablets in this package. Two are laminine, one is omega, one digestive, one immune. And it's easy to understand some of these names only because you have heard about immune system, digestive system. Omega, from the word omega, I'm sure many people take omega 3, 6, 9 fish oils. So that is there as as a way of for you to remember. And then the laminine. Now laminine is the flagship product, and I think most of the people who are on this webinar must have used it directly, indirectly, or heard about it. So these supplements of course have the most important bioactive growth factor formulation to give you peak performance, mind, body, spirit.
Mhm.
And the best thing is it's in a pouch packet, so it's convenient, right? And they are all color coded. That's another thing. So the
Yeah.
colors are different. And maybe Irene can tell us the colors, Irene.
Lemonine is white color, omega brown, digestive green, and immune yellow. So easy.
Yay, good job.
I passed the test, right?
You passed the test. So you see, because of the colors, you can't make a mistake, and I think that's important, right? You can because a lot of times I have given, I take out two digestive, and sometimes I will give it to my sister-in-law who's got some digestive issues. I've also done that, and if I feel I'm feeling low. I've come to Pakistan after COVID from the US and I've traveled a lot. I think I need to boost my immune system a little more. Then I will open two packs and I'll take out an extra immune from my packet number two and take two immune. I've done a lot of that based on what my need is, right?
I take 2 packs of Revive every single day for so many years. One in the morning, one at night. And when
Yes, and
people
that
said
is the
it's
ideal.
expensive, my health is most important and the most expensive for me. So I have to take care of my body, my powerhouse back.
Yeah, now listen, this is a great investment as compared to buying a Gucci bag or some other designer shoes, because this is your body and you need to definitely take care of it. I know that people age differently, the ones who've taken care of themselves versus those who haven't. And if you make 50-year-old ladies or gents stand in a line, you will notice everybody has aged differently, although their biological age is the same. And I feel the difference was in how someone really approached life, with the way they handled stress, the way they ate, exercise, relationships, spirituality,
Yes.
all the different elements. So I think you did the right thing. You are doing the right thing, Irene, and
I'm doing
carry
for
on with what
myself.
you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
look,
I'm
take care
teaching
of
my
yourself.
family members to do the same thing, be on the products. So I provide
Definitely.
products to all of my members, family members, and
That's
to some of
amazing.
my friends who cannot afford. Yes, yeah, I do.
I think I could have bought a lot of jewelry if I wanted to, but what I did is exactly what Irene did, which is buy all these supplements for when my parents were alive, for them, and now my in-laws, my sisters, everybody has these, my cousins and everyone. So laminine, as the name suggests what they did is, this is their flagship product and I love it. And I am an egg lover anyway. I have always loved
Me too.
eggs in my life. So laminine, the product, is a formulation where they took out the FGF, or the fibroblast growth factor, from a 9-day fertilized chicken. And that particular ingredient, the FGF2, as it's called, the way it is in laminine, the fibroblast growth factor, was in you when you were a little tiny embryo. The amount was there too, but as we age, the amount becomes less. So now when you take this supplement, the FGF2 goes to all your adult stem cells in your body, whether it is your heart cell or the liver, the lungs, anywhere, and it goes and it starts to regenerate and reactivate that stem cell, so as that stem cell will then have the ability to cause the cell to become literally better in function. And laminine also has fish protein. It's got these plant-based amino acids which become the food of the cells in your body, and your cells become healthy. So the new science, the way we talk about things now, is that there was genetics and then there's epigenetics. Genetics is what you and I inherited from our parents. And a lot of times people would say, hey, Samina, your father had heart disease, so you're going to get it too. Your mother had cancer, you will get it too. But guess what? Not anymore. Now you have a science called epigenetics on top of genetics, which means I can change the way my genes express themselves by the way I live my life, my lifestyle.
Wow.
And lifestyle means the way I eat, the way I exercise, the way I handle stress in my life, spirituality, relationships, love, and also my supplementation. As I mentioned when Irene and I were talking,
Yeah.
our food has become deficient in the right nutrients. nutrients. So we need to supplement. There's nothing wrong with it. If you are taking a good supplement, which comes from literally a person or a company or an industry, place where they have good ethics and they are using good products, good ingredients, then you will only benefit. There's nothing wrong with them, no side effects. These are nutritional supplements. So this goes into the body. And let's say I have bleeding gums, laminin will go and heal that. This particular pill has the intelligence to go wherever it's needed. If Irene has pain in her right knee, it will go and heal that, because it's going to go and regenerate the stem cells. So here I give people the example with laminin of the soil. Supposing you bought expensive seeds to grow oranges, organic oranges, and you put them in the soil, but the soil was bad. Do you think your oranges are going to grow? No. They
Oh,
might be expensive seeds, but the soil that you put them in is not good. So it was a waste of your money. You must understand that the cells, here we are talking about the important thing. We need to make the soil better. The soil
yeah,
equals your cells.
yeah.
And that's what this particular supplement does. It goes and improves your cellular health and causes cellular regeneration. So it's basically making the damaged cells better. And Irene, I think I told you about this important clinical study that was done with laminin, where they use
Mhm.
laminin. Some people have done it with 4 tablets in a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening, some with just 2 in a day. But they noticed that after about 30 days, the cortisol levels were reduced to 22%.
Wow,
And
that's
when
impressive. Yeah,
cortisol goes down, Irene, what does that mean? It's a stress hormone. That
yeah,
means your stress has gone down.
yeah.
You have less reason to get a disease. You are decreasing the chances of getting chronic diseases by reducing your stress levels. So let's move to the next slide.
Dr.
Laminin.
Samina, I just want to say something in regards of epigenetic. My father had high blood pressure, cancer, and heart attack. And guess what? I'm been on Lemonine and Revive for so many years. I turned 65. I applied for Medicare, and my doctors amazed. They said, we don't have any um, patient like you in our clinic. Yes, because I'm completely healthy person. So yeah, that's the
Excellent.
truth. Yes,
That
epigenetic.
is amazing. Yeah.
Yes.
So in this slide, I do want to also tell everybody to remember 3, 4 things. You see, sometimes too much knowledge comes in in your vicinity, and you don't end up remembering much. But I would like you to remember the letter S. S for Dr. Samina, remember? And listen, your last name is also with an S, right?
Yes,
Savchin.
option. Yeah.
Irene Savchin. So Savchin and Samina. And so the S, what does laminin do? Improves the sleep. S for sleep. S for stamina, right? S for sexual health.
Woo-hoo.
So if you remember these three,
Yeah,
at least you will
it's
know.
enough.
I think it's reason enough to take that.
Plus
And this is
stress.
all
Yes.
researched. Now, these are all important things. I think people are suffering from lack of sleep, and that leads to stress as well. When you haven't completed your 7, 8 hours of sleep, you will never be able to function well the next day. And anxiety leads to insomnia. When you're anxious because you have that uncertainty or a panic attack, something bad will happen, you will not go to sleep. And there is so much of anxiety based on what's happening in the world right now, Irene. There is a war that is out there. When you get up in the morning, you look at your cell phone, all these signals,
News.
electromagnetic radiation. Oh my God, who died where? There is a war. People are suffering in this and this part of so there is too much. It's too much to absorb.
Yeah.
And I tell people to stay away from cell phones to
Yeah.
the best of their ability. Try to restrict your time with your phone to a couple of hours. I have friends who check their messages in the morning and then in the evening they don't do anything in the middle. And I tell you, I've tried that, Irene. You don't really miss out much. You think
I
that
know,
by
I
checking it
know.
again and again, you know,
Yeah.
you are missing out, but you don't. Just do it 2 times a day, in the morning when you wake up and at night, or before sleeping. That's it, done. Not like
More than enough.
continuously, right?
Yes. Yeah, sleep deprivation is, I think, the worst for our health, because when you sleep,
Yeah.
your body rejuvenates, rebuilds. So we need to sleep. And lemonine, since I've been on lemonine, I'm sleeping like a baby.
And laminine has so many other sort of great qualities, and here they've compared it with other supplements. But if you look at this chart, like we already spoke, cellular regeneration, building your cells, making them more healthy. Number two, lengthening the telomeres. Now telomeres are the end of your chromosome, your DNA. And by long telomeres, what we say is that you have lengthened the span of your life. You will live longer. So we are actually increasing the years in the life of a person by saying that you will have the ability to live a longer life. The length of the telomere defines how much time you have in this life. uh,
Mhm.
Inflammation goes down, sugar levels are better, restful sleep, and better cholesterol. So a lot of reasons to take this. So here is a testimonial of someone who basically experienced better health, lower levels of stress, and so that's good. Omega. Now, with omega, I want you to remember uh, this is for the circulatory system of the body. We all have blood, 5 liters, they say, for each person, the average. And the blood is carried in these vessels, blood vessels, veins, and arteries. Now, people who experience high blood pressure or who get a heart attack, the reasons are that they have an issue with the circulatory system, and the circulation is not the way it should be. The flow is not there. And why does that happen? Sometimes our diet has too much fat in it, the triglycerides, the bad cholesterol, and it starts blocking your blood vessel by making these little plaques. And then calcium deposits come there also. And then that causes the lumen of the artery to become smaller and smaller. So if the blood vessel is a slightly bigger, this like this, the flow of blood is easy and it doesn't have any blockage. But if there is a plaque over here, like an obstruction here and an obstruction here, then the blood doesn't have enough space to move. And so you get less blood in the vessel, and you also have more chances of high blood pressure. And then the plaques are blocking it. To one extent, it might get total blockage. So now it's closed. And that's when people get those stents and they have heart attacks and all that stuff, right? You need to then get rid of the blockage in a big way. So before that happens, isn't it better to take something which can get rid of these plaques and the obstruction? I think
It's
prevention is
true.
better than cure. I'm a
Of
huge
course.
believer of that. Why are we waiting? Because our diets are definitely, I think they're not right. We love to eat all the bad stuff. They say
Yeah.
all the tasty food, all the good stuff is not good for you.
Yes,
And
we know
sometimes
that.
I believe that. And we already know that. So here you see that there are 20 clinical studies on this, which have already is proven that it also helps with making your mood better, happier, right? And I forgot to tell you, with the lemonine, we also have an ingredient called serotonin, or it's like a
Mhm.
chemical called serotonin, which is a happy hormone, and lemonine has that effect of making you happy. And so omega has these 369 omega fatty acids in it. It has vitamin K2, coenzyme Q2, Q10, and also the egg factor, the egg bioactive growth factor. So why are we taking all these things? Vitamin K2 is going to make sure that the calcium doesn't get stuck here, and it will make it go into where it belongs, like the bones need the calcium. Let the calcium go there,
Yeah.
get rid of it from here. And all these good omega fatty acids which you're taking, and also coenzyme Q10, they cause anti-inflammatory effects. Every disease happens because of inflammation. and inflammation is not good. So it's always good to take some supplement which will reduce the inflammation in our body. And that's why these are recommended. Coenzyme Q10 is so good for people who have any kind of cardiac issues. And I recommend that all the time. It will improve your circulation. And here again, you'll notice that it contains the omega 3. It has other fatty acids 6 and 9, cellular regeneration, and it maintains your triglyceride levels. We don't want the levels to go up, it's not good. And then, of course, if your triglyceride levels are good, that means it will also help your overall cholesterol to be good, because omega 3, 6, and 9, when you take those, it will allow the high density lipoproteins to really be there in your body and decrease the low or the bad cholesterol. So very important ingredient, or let's call it very important supplements in our little packet called Re5.
I just want to mention something. My father, before the heart attack, he was on medicine to lower cholesterol level. And after the surgery, he still has to take medicine because cholesterol level was very high. And I was afraid for him to have another heart attack. And I put him on omega. At that time was only lemon and omega. And guess what? His cholesterol level was so perfect. Doctor just took him off the medicine. So it was very impressive. And I remember I showed to all my friends what Lebanon and Omega done to my father's body. Yeah.
And Irene, for people who are on statin drugs, and you know that whenever the cholesterol is high,
Mm-hmm.
doctors will put the patient on statins. And
Yeah.
these statin drugs are supposed to reduce the cholesterol, but unfortunately, they have a bad side effect. And that side effect is that they cause a lot of pain in the legs. And I know people who complain like they're going to get these muscle aches, which are horrible. And a lot of them also will get liver issues, because liver is the place where all the medicines and you take get the detoxification happens there. But the thing is that a lot of the metabolism of these drugs happens in the liver, leaving the liver sick. Liver gets sick. So I do feel if you can take anything which has less chances of those toxic effects, it's a
Mm-hmm.
much better decision.
Mm-hmm.
So
Maybe we'll have another meeting and I can show you even the list of my father's medication, and some of them were crossed out. So he was on the Lemonine and Omega at that time. And that was very impressive and amazing.
that is, thank you. I would like to
Yeah,
see
one
that.
day I'll show you the chart.
Definitely. So next slide. So digestive, this is one of my favorites because as a medical doctor, I was always very aware that the gut is the most important system in my body. When the gut health is good, all the other systems operate well.
Mhm.
Uh, but when I studied Ayurveda, I understood the importance of it more. And Ayurveda definitely convinced me then that I need to take care of my gut in many ways. And LifePharm's product Digestive has everything in one place, and that's the digestive pill, which has probiotics, prebiotics, and also digestive enzymes. So you can easily say, hey, what's happening? There are so many probiotics in the market. Why don't I just pick up one of those? Well, you can, but the issue with the ones that I have seen on in the market is they might be there, but what happens is these particular probiotics that they have, which are the good bacteria or the bacteria flora that they want to put in the colon, it doesn't make it there because it gets destroyed in the stomach. The pH of the stomach is 4, and 4 is a very acidic pH, which destroys everything you put in it, right? So we need to have a pH
Yeah.
slightly higher than 4, more around the 6 7 level,
Mhm.
because then the little bacterias, whatever you are putting, the good bacteria, they make it to the colon without getting destroyed in the stomach, right? So Life Farm has the Bacillus coagulans, and this particular one has a nice cover around it,
Mhm.
so it stays safe, and it goes into the stomach. And guess what? Digestive has the prebiotic, which helps in improving the pH of the stomach from the 4. It'll make it more alkaline. Now this will not get destroyed. It makes its way into the small intestines, all the way to the large intestines, where you want it to be,
Yeah.
and that's where it opens up and it gets lodged there, right? So prebiotics, probiotics, and also enzymes. Why do you need enzymes? You have them already being produced by your pancreas and your other parts in the gut. The problem is, as we age, especially at the age of 60, the digestive enzymes are not in the right amount. We need more, and we don't have them. The body is done. It's not producing them anymore. So you need to supplement. You need to give your body the enzymes. Why do you need enzymes? You need enzymes to digest your food properly, your carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So this is a great 3-in-1
Yeah,
formula.
3 in 1. Yeah.
Love it.
Just remember 3 in 1, because when people asking why we have to take digestive from Life Farm, because 3 in 1. Yeah.
3-in-1 for sure. Yeah. Definitely a very valuable, supplement. And, the prebiotics it has also, you need fiber, for good digestion to take place. So here, fiber is provided by the prebiotics. And, then you have the good microbes, you have your enzymes, everything is there. And they've got some interesting, those, I remember those names are interesting, the Jerusalem artichoke and the Yukon, those exotic sort of fibers that you're going to get in your system. So we're going to do a comparison now for digestive also. As you see here,
Mhm.
the clinically proven trials, it has prebiotics, probiotics, and also the digestive enzymes. And you don't need to refrigerate it. I think that's a very cool thing as well. uh, the rest of the things that are written in your chart here, I have already explained, so we can move on. And again, a nice testimonial from somebody who was suffering from digestive issues, constipation, bloating for 15 years, and they tried everything. And after just a couple of days,
Yeah.
they started having good bowel movements. And I have personally, Irene, given this particular product to my mother-in-law, my sister-in-law, mostly my in-laws. They all have IBS-like symptoms and constipation, and they are so satisfied with it. They are all hooked to this.
Cannot imagine my life without digestive, really.
Yes, so good. Okay, we come to
Yeah.
the last hero. But it's not the last one. It's definitely the most important one right now. After what we have gone through in the pandemic, I have to tell you, this was a lifesaver. And I increased my dose to 3 a day during COVID times. And I think I spoke to you once when I told you my niece got COVID, my nephew, my husband. And immune and laminine are the ones that I gave to them at a stage and time when nobody knew what to do. There was no vaccine, no doctor knew what is happening, hospitals were packed, and you had to make literally your own decisions of what do I do. And it just made sense that let me improve the immunity of these people who are sick. Let
Mhm.
me give them something supportive so that they can regenerate their cells and make their cells healthy so they can absorb everything well. And it worked. They became all right. They got over that illness. And they wrote, I think they gave a couple of videos. They made testimonials. They were so excited. So immune has vitamin C, but many vitamin C's exist
Yes.
in our life, in our world. The good thing about immune is that the vitamin C that they have done research and trials to see it definitely does better than others in the market. And the reason is, Irene, that this has more staying power in the body. It just doesn't disappear. It
Mhm.
stays for 24 hours. The effects are there. And it also has mushrooms, You
Yeah.
know, mushrooms are definitely antioxidant. They give you immunity. And mitaki mushroom, reishi, and turkey tail. And then my favorite product from Ayurvedic medicine, which I have used extensively, ashwagandha, which is also called a stallion. You
Mhm.
know, if you really want to become or
Yeah.
get the energy of a stallion, Ayurveda says take ashwagandha. And it's been there for 5,000 years. So a lot of times, men are really huge fans of ashwagandha, because when you talk about just that word stallion, you think of
Yeah.
how good you
Yeah.
would be
Mhm.
sexually. So I think that
Yeah.
ashwagandha product is probably the most powerful and popular herb in our particular, let's call it, we have medley of herbs in Ayurveda.
Mhm.
So they have it in immune, and it's famous for being very good as a stress, as something to cope with stress, and improving your adrenal functions, your sleep, giving you energy, all the good stuff. So, immune, once again, with its vitamin C as a powerful ingredient, is like a little soldier who's trying to help you. Now, one thing that I realized during the COVID times was that what did I need? What did I want my body to do? I wanted my body to fight all the viruses, all the
Exactly.
bacteria, so I don't get sick. So what immune does, and study and research has shown, is that immune is going to increase your T cells, your B cells, your natural killer cells. What are these names that I just said? These are all your white blood cells, your soldiers. They're the
Yeah.
ones that are, they're there, but we need more. When there is an attack, you need more soldiers. So through research, we have proven that the number of my white blood cells, the defenders, is it increases when I take immune. So it's all good.
All good. Yeah.
All good. Yeah,
And
let's move
I
to the
can
next.
mention the story of my mom. She's 92 years old and she's got COVID. The test showed that she had COVID, but no symptoms. But my mom been under five for so many years. 92 years old, COVID
Wow.
without symptoms, no fever, nothing. And I've done many videos and I show to my friends how she's been doing during the COVID time. And the caregivers got sick and very sick. I can tell you, very sick, not my
Wow.
mama, because she's been under five. So this is the investment in her good health.
This is amazing. And Irene, may God bless her. All my prayers for your mom. May
Yes,
God
thank
give
you.
her longevity and give her good health.
She's still singing at 92 and she's walking. She can take care of herself and very impressive, very impressive. Yeah, but I
And
know the reason why that
and
happened.
Irene, even Galina's mother, and maybe later when we have the Q&A, she can tell us how she lifted her mother's
Mhm.
physical health
Yeah.
to such a great level by
Mhm.
giving her these nutritional supplements. I saw the before after pictures that Galina shared with me. So
Mhm.
God bless her,
Yeah.
Galina's mom as
To
well.
all
She's
our moms, yes, we
to
need
all
them.
the moms, to all
Yes,
the moms.
it doesn't matter how old we are, we still need our moms
Yes, yes, for sure,
and
definitely.
papa and papas, mamas and
Papas, yeah, we must say something about the papas also. They're otherwise going to get upset.
yeah, we love them all.
Yes. So I think this is again a comparison. You can,
Mhm.
yeah, go to the
Yeah.
next slide. You see immune being compared to other products with the same ingredients. And if you go to any store which sells supplements or medicines, especially local pharmacies, you'll notice that they have these blends. Whenever you look at any immune supplement, it'll have elderberry, zinc, vitamin C
Mhm.
combination or separate. But if you notice all the good sort of information on the left side, here it has antioxidant, it has the capacity to increase your white blood cells, your T cells, and natural killer cells, the
Mhm.
medicinal mushrooms, bioflavonoids, which are part of vitamin C. And like I said, vitamin C is being carried in such a way in the body that it stays longer, We want it to stay longer so that the cells can benefit from its antioxidant properties. So, right now, why am I explaining this medical scientific aspect? Because I know that most of the participants, Irene, who are on this forum right now are intelligent, educated, knowledgeable people, and
Yes.
they want to know the why, what,
Yes.
how of things. And I like to actually have patients or clients who ask me questions. I really love that. I think it's important. It's important what you put in your body, right? You want to know
You
why
are
should,
what you eat and what you put in your body. Yeah.
yes,
And you're really
these are
believe.
intelligent consumers.
Yes. Yes. And I know, Dr. Samina, we went through all the power slides. And at the end, I would like Peter to play the video that I sent this morning to him. And I just want all of you to see uh, for me, when I'm talking about Revive, it's not like a one day talking, like only today or maybe a month ago. I've been on Revive since the first day. The company started to produce this product. And, and I knew that in 5 years, I would be older. I would have chance to get some disease. So I was doing prevention. And if you're still healthy, guys, who's on the call tonight or today, yes, please start to take responsibilities for your own health. And then in few years, you would say, thank you to the person who introduced you to Revive. And Dr. Samina, I love you so much, and I love the information, the way you put in a simple way for me, not being a medical professional, to understand. And I hope everybody's understand everything what you just said today, the importance of the good nutrition to put in our body, to eliminate stress and anxiety in our life, because it's all related, stress related to our disease. So if we want to be healthy, we need to do what been said today by Dr. Samina. And thank you for your time. I know it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Pakistan right now, and you still healthy and looking good, and with nice voice, full of energy. Huge appreciation for your time being with us and sharing this amazing information with all of us. Let's watch the video, and then we'll summarize what we heard today. I just want you to know that I'm not cheating. I'm not giving false advices. I'm been on this product for many years. And this is me running at the beach. I said in a video, I'm running at the Oregon coast. And why do I have so much energy? Because in the morning, I took lemonade, omega, digestive, and immune. That was a different day. I'm running to the top of Multnomah Falls, which is very high and very steep hike. And I'm recording myself saying, guys, do you know why I have so much energy? Because in the morning I took lemonade, omega, digestive, and immune. And I'm almost 65 years old. That was the another video. And I said, yeah. And you can see me last summer doing exercise. Yes. So I indeed became a very strong person after being on a product for such a long time. And this video was recorded back in October of last year. I visited my favorite place, Beacon Rock. It's a very steep, how it's called, like a rock. So I said, I've been here in April, I've been in June, and I'm in October. And if you want to know why I have so much power in my body, because I've been on lemonade for 10 years, and I've been on the 5-pack for so many years. And I said, I'm happy and I'm very healthy. Yes. And I recommend everybody to be on Revive. Super health. And this video I recorded last month. I was on the way to Mexico, sitting on a plane, and I said, anywhere I go, I always take Revive with me. So that's the story for today. And dear Dr. Samina, again, huge appreciation for your information, for your time, for your knowledge, for sharing this knowledge with all of us. I hope when you come back to US, we'll do more often meetings like this, run more webinars where I can show more stories, pictures of my friends and partners who's been on LifePharm products to show you how we used to look 5 even 10 years ago and how we look and feel today while we're using the products from LifePharm. So you will see with your own eyes, because we have information, but when you see how we used to look and how we look right now, because we put the right nutritions in our body and cells rejuvenating every time when we sleep or when we running or whatever we're doing, it's really impressive, very impressive. So summarizing, right? We were talking about top sources of stress, and Dr. Samina told today job pressure. And I can tell you guys, LifePharm create a program for us to share information with our friends. And when our friends signing up, and we put them on aftership to have discount. By the way, if you on $100 buying product for yourself every month, you get 5% discount on aftership. If you buy 150 and more, you get 10% discount. So there is no way to say, oh, it's too much. No, get an aftership, put into your body the right products, get discount, and work on prevention of all kind of diseases and stress. So a job, you don't have to have a job pressure, because you can start working here with LifePharm. And my work, I'm sitting right now and working. I'm sharing information. I'm sending information to my friends. They sign up. We put them on aftership. They reordering from month to month, year after year, and I get paid from week to week, month from month, year after year. And this is beautiful, because now I have more time. And what I'm doing with my time, I'm walking, I'm running, I'm exercising, I'm listening good music. I have enough time to focus on the right lifestyle, which Dr. Samina just told. To eliminate stress, we need to focus on lifestyle. But if you're working, if you have stress from work, from not having enough money, of course, people get sick. So now you see, with this information, you can use the products, you can share the products with other people. You explain people the benefit being on aftership from month to month, just to stay healthy and to have extra money for you to have this product for free, guys. To have product for free. But if you want to extend the list of your friends who would be on Revive, then you in a business. And my business, I've been in a business with LifePharm for 10 years, and I created the most amazing lifestyle. And I wish everybody could just use this information today. And if you have any questions, you can ask right now, or you can send to Dr. Samina your questions. You can send your questions to us, or bring your questions to the next meeting, which we will have very, very soon. Right, Dr. Samina?
That is right. And thank you so much for inviting me.
Of
And I can't
course.
believe it's 1 a.m, but I feel like it's great. It must be the supplements working
Yes,
overtime. But I wanted to tell everybody who's on this forum that very soon, watch out for my podcasts with Janet Walker. So
yes.
Janet Walker, who's a PBS producer, and she's done like 2 sort of award-winning shows for PBS. She'll be doing, these podcasts on healthy cells. and how we can improve our lifespan, longevity, and everything, all the good stuff. So watch out for that on all the social media, Spotify, Apple, the
Beautiful.
prime time shows and everything. And she has done over 10 years of research on LifePharm products only. She's like amazing, and I don't know if you guys saw on YouTube, it's
Yes, I
there if
did.
anybody
I
wants
did.
to see, the innovations in medicine.
Yes.
And it's important to keep a tab on what's happening in the world, technology and all, and how is Life Farm staying with technology, staying with the
Yes.
research. That's the best thing about these supplements, that this is a product that is valuable. They care for you, they care for your health. So they keep doing research and they modify formulas so that you get the best.
Yeah. Life Farm investing money in the research. What we're doing, we invest in our time, not even money, time to share information with other people. That's a good business, guys.
And stay stress free. Try to meditate, try to take care of yourself. Like Irene is saying, she has got a business model where she has freed time in her life so she can go for a walk, she can exercise, she can go out for lunch
Yes.
and dinner with her loved ones, right? She
Yes.
can go get a massage, go get a facial. And it's all about time management and about being very sort of like, what do they call it, like trying to be a good efficient business maker
Yes.
or a businesswoman, where she has understood the secrets of this business, but she's sharing it with you.
Yes.
And
I
I
love to
think
share.
you should take her advice because she's a living example of someone who has succeeded in also doing, not only taking the supplements and the product, but also using it as a great business model. So I really appreciate all that you do. Thanks for sharing your knowledge too. And I want everybody on this forum to start taking care of themselves, because remember, pandemics will keep coming. Remember, viruses and bacteria have always been around, they don't disappear.
And
It's
stress
all
will
about
keep coming,
how.
right? Stress will
It,
keep coming. One
stress
stress
will
goes
keep,
away, another around the corner. Hello, I'm here.
it'll be there, but we need to relax and meditate and take care of ourselves. And I do have to tell you, out of all the trainings I've done, meditation has helped me a lot. And I think everybody should learn meditation. That's my advice to all of you. Free some time for yourself and create a certain kind of objectives which are achievable,
Yeah,
one
very
step
true.
at a time. And remember, life is short, but try to live it to the best of your ability and try to forgive people. That is a very important thing, too. And every day I tell people, try to pray, try to be patient, and try to forgive. Those things are very important. Gratitude is important. An attitude of gratitude. Get up in the morning. And by the way, Irene, you and I are blessed. We survived COVID. I know people who are a lot younger than me and who couldn't make it. So give yourselves a pat on the back, but also lessons learned are that the people who had chronic disease and stress are the ones who went away. And so we don't want to be in that line right now. We love life. I want to go and visit Irene in Oregon, and
Yes,
I
please.
also want to like stick around. So
Everybody's welcome
take
to
care.
Irene's happy world. And you
Thank
see,
you,
I have
Peter.
skylights and the sunlight just all over my face,
Yes,
which is
and
good.
my love to everybody who's participating right now. Please join us again when we get together, right, Irene? We want to
Yes,
continue doing these little events, and next time we should take some, questions as well,
yes,
right?
yes. So thank you, Dr. Samina, thank you,
Thank you.
Peter, Julia, and all the participants of all of my friends. And if I don't know you, let's get together and know each other and work together and sharing good things with the world.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.